Well, Ontario's watchdog is, as you can see, intervening because apparently our little tyrant in training has understood that one of the fundamental things about your tyrant textbook is you don't tell anything. You claim you're being completely transparent. Bloated felon down in the United States constantly says, their whole government says, we're completely transparent. And as Sir Terry Pratchett put it, yes, you are completely transparent. We can see through everything you're doing. Not dissimilar to what's happening with our little tyrant in training up here in Ontario, Doug Ford, who claims things like signs are a more effective deterrent for speeders than a camera that will catch them and guarantee they get the actual fine for speeding. Of course, let's bear in mind there are allegedly 83 tickets outstanding for Doug Ford's daughter being caught by said cameras. So Ontario sent a whole bunch of signs around to all these different places because they're so much better than cameras. And it's not as if, 15, 20, 30 years ago, Canada didn't finally put those cameras in because it was established that, signs don't do jack shit to someone who wants to speed. But a camera that will guarantee that their license plate, their car picture, possibly even their own happy face as they speed through an area, guaranteeing that they'll get fined for speeding, that's unacceptable. But of course, we also have our little tyrant in training claiming shit like, tenants don't actually need to have a place to live, telling people when they point out to him that what he wants to do to further jeopardize tenants as opposed to owners, because that's all Doug Ford cares about. He has his construction friends. They want to build semi-detached houses in green space. And all of us who rent, we are inconveniently holding this up by pointing out that, hey, guess what, tyrant in training? We don't need semi-detached houses. We need rental buildings that aren't falling apart because every building these days is mortgaging themselves to the hilt. They just barely finish this building and then they start the next building. And most of them are not coming in up to code. But hey, they're renters. The felon doesn't care. No. Renters are rarely people with lots of money. So as far as the bloated felon is concerned up here, as opposed to the bloated felon down in the States, I can't actually call Doug Ford a felon. He was not convicted, even though we all knew he was buying drugs for his brother. But either way, you don't have money, you don't matter.